Fellow Ambazonians, fellow people of the British Southern Cameroon, once more, welcome for this platform, the No Kunny Talk Zone, a platform for the truth and nothing but the truth. Now the baton that would carry on for this race for Ambazonia freedom, for always be there for tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And me, I be una host, Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Mr. No Kunny, Lukong, Ambazonian FBI, Sense Pass King. Yes, I've been a Sense Pass King. I want to welcome you once more for this platform. It could also air, it will be rebroadcast for our national TV, the ACN, because of our unavailability of our technical crew right now. So we will broadcast not only for this Facebook page for Ndong Ema. So it don't be a long time. I think Facebook will don't block me off for this particular page for quite a while. So it don't be a long time while I'll be off this page. Better they always get a backup page, the Sense Pass King page will be open up for humor and fun and things as an alternative for this platform. It will also help us say every time when Facebook shut us down, if you go for there and they will continue for broadcast. So all man be highly welcome. And today we'll get a very big show. We'll be very excited with the news where they come for inside the United Nations and it is circulate around the corridors of diplomacy and also in particularly from the United States of America, say Mr. Paul Biya named day amongst the list of people them where they prepare for target them, for sanction them as the war with the push for negotiated settlement for this war for our independence. And I will get a friend in the White House now. So ladies and gentlemen, all man be welcome. And even at the see me for Ground Zero, the time where I make this show for Hong Kong time now 1 a.m. for morning time on the 21st, but I put the date 20th so that make it match the date we did for Ground Zero. And for all that open a door then for welcome me for a TV screen for Ground Zero, for Ground One, and all across the world where they watch ACN Ambazonia Communication Network. I want to thank you for invite me, for let me for come for the house for talk for today this day, and I go honor una for talk the truth and for bring una very critical information where you go help una for understand the future for this struggle for our liberation movement. So all man be highly welcome. As the tradition for this show a day, I will place on one mutumbu where I will take and for welcome all man where they day for me for Facebook so that it will be interactive and those of una wanna watch we for inside on a house. One love, we day together, shake, day, all money, place, day. So this song now a wonderful song, African song where it day on social media and I choose to play it today. That way the song it go to play, I go to salute all my way day on live, it watch me for Facebook, and if you day for a house, I want to salute all man for house for say we day together. So I the salute, I the see Dong Lazarus is online. I salute you. And all our commanders of Ground Zero, I salute now.
Line ho, uyu line ro mwana wanzeru, kacha mama wa amatengazaje kusesa bakomo pamaibaje. Early morning,
and you see Don Manny David also for line, for watch live. I want to salute here, I want to salute our mission head for China, Mr. Prince, and our mission head for Switzerland, our mission head for the United Kingdom, and to salute all our political prisoners of war with the Nepal Republic across the territory, and those of us where they live inside the forest, bush, as IDPs, and those with around Nigeria as well. All many places I want to salute all our commander that where they live inside the great state of Manfi and Faku, where they live to make sure say me these nations come and get the message Ambazonia that I reject this organized nations come where to organize I also salute Cillian Deme, where you join online and see Amber on Freedom to join I salute all man in place today.
Mwana wanzeru
Agide gogo wana madingo Gamu ya mikira Kuti na madingo mwana mene Mwana wanzeru Agide gogo wana madingo Gamu ya mikira
Mukuti na madingo mwana mene
Mwana wanzeru
Simuku na mago
Tawizi na mwe
nwe malota ine Bambo wanga tandisi enda salandeka
Tawizi na mwe
ni malota ine Bambo wanga atamwali enda
Oh man, welcome. I see Peter Idan join me from online from Facebook. You be highly welcome. I want to salute our people that they did for America, in particular because they have make a lot of sacrifices them to make sure they make our TV day online. And make our people watch through. Salute our community for America, the one for Germany, the one for United Kingdom, for Belgium. I salute all, even for Gabon, South Africa. I salute you all, and I want to welcome all man today again for this show, the No Kunny Talk show. It will be a long time for I never come online, and when we need to come online, I for good thing because we need to back the scene, we coordinate issue them, we try to make sure they're in order and to do our job. And we don't get big good news for now. That I'm finally make an official my appointment as the Deputy Defense Chief now, University of the Savannah State, and the Deputy Defense Chief now, all Ambazonia. I see Ivor time with that. I can't name them. Welcome, my brother.
Ngamba kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana woyera Zina lache musolo
Nangopanga chikoso kwa tinza kuitana
Musolo
Musolo mai Musolo mai
Elwood Johnson, Don Sharif, on a welcome online. Yes, Arambi offline for a while. Would I be so busy? They work plenty, so I think they would expect they will appoint a vice deputy defense chief to assist me. So they work now through around the offline for a long time. Almost every day, material that have flops today. You will see my flying around flops today for presentation and updates. Then we will never be able to release them because we'll just be too busy. If you imagine, we'll try to bring the guys that together for Manfi, for Meme, they can participate for the joint operation them, and just a lot of groups that they come in and a lot of plannings that they go through. We can launch the stabilization fund and so many things and so many meetings. I know if you just get time to come online, but now the good thing that say when we know we be online, we be focus for managing the ground zero, for make sure say me the roadmap way the leader that put them for we would push and make it go before, for motivate the soldiers, to handle issue that we need, to handle them, and for coordinate the activity that we plan. So that was a good thing. So ladies and gentlemen, today we'll get a lot of things to discuss. So we'll come to an end with that beautiful piece of music where it don't warm our heart. And I hope say that music it don't usher in all man it don't come, all man it plays day. As we don't take time we salute all man. Now we'll go enter for our opening presentation today for our opening statement. I don't want to just talk for our opening statement before we get into the show. And for just take a moment for thank Ground Zero. We don't see a massive response for our people them across our national territory following the unity drive we see for Ground Zero. As the soldier them in particularly for FACO, they don't come together, all the factions them, the mountain lions them, they don't reject the ideology for Chris Anu for semi them begin attack their own brothers them. For the ADF, they don't abandon those things them. They don't come together. And all the forces they don't come together, they don't set forces them, they operate together. And it can be a very wonderful thing, very heartwarming thing. And Ground Zero, it notice, Ground Zero be that always one unity. and unity in purpose, no be unity for propaganda, no be unity for fight against somebody, not just unity for do the right thing. So as our soldiers they come together and we push the unity together for respect each other and for support each other, for fight alongside each other against a common enemy, and for protect ourselves against inside attack. So it can be a wonderful thing. We also say even for Isa Kumba, for Biya, for Moliku, Mutengene, across the board, everybody it don't come for respect they goes down because their spirit they don't be jolly, they don't be happy, they see hope because they know say together we stand, divided we fall. And the type of unity this would always preach for. Unfortunately, we don't always get the splinter group of the IG way that they always try to destroy everything where it come for unity. But finally, the boys around wise up. Say, be normal. Say, person go shoot down for diaspora for a house. They talk to me, they exterminate another group. Those words that we Cristiano talk them, it be treasonous, it be a betrayer, and one day he go answer for a crime. I just be happy say all the forces them from he start. I think the ball start rolling with Grandpa for Bali, where he come out, he denounce them, and he go ahead for welcoming ADF brother them. But they don't be brothers there for a long time. As a matter of fact, I can assure when I say now just say ADF they really do propaganda and for promote itself very well. Because if you look in terms of Manfe, there is no force in Manfe and in Fako that have used bullet that did not come through the ADF. No matter how the bullet come, it has come through the ADF. So all those forces there, they are working together. They have always been working together. They know each other. And they know that when these people come in from Maryland and they say that this one is working for La Republic, it's just lies. They are just lies. So we are very, very happy. We'll be happy. So once more, that was my opening statement. I don't get a lot of things for opening statement, but we'll get a lot of things for talking today. The big news way will come with what I will tell and I say Mr. Paul Biya a name he for the top list for the people the way American government he go target them for sanction them and for whip them, for drag them possibly to the ICJ for war crimes to the land they commit for Amazonia. So Mr. Paul Biya B. Vondo Mr. Paul Biya B. Vondo will become a prisoner very, very soon. This man who they see him, the criminal, where he don't commit genocide, he don't commit targeted killing, extrajudicial killing, rape, torture for inside Amazonia using the military personnel. According to international law, a commander-in-chief, a head of state, get a responsibility, they call it ranks in files. How did they use this big terminology for this big book them? He be responsible for the conduct of his soldiers and he be directly responsible even for supervise the soldier them and for make sure say when there are reports of abuses them he stop up. So as a person who then declare war, the conduct of those soldiers them he be directly responsible for their conduct. He need to supervise them, he need to take responsibility for their actions them, and the fact that they continue to kill our people, them burn villages them, the Mr. Paul Biya they directly let me happen or it directly instruct them. Nevertheless, as a commander-in-chief, he be responsible for the actions of those killed. The thing we don't trigger them, according to which we hear from our partners, them, that the killing where they go keep people in the inside Mauto. Mauto, the one week of morning time, La Republic, their troops them that invade their village without any provocation, without the presence of any force, slaughtering women, shooting men from behind who are running into the bushes, killing children. So that is the monster we are facing. And this criminal will go to jail. Will wait the day where they will drag him inside your own junk suit for take and go down for international criminal court for crimes against humanity in Amazonia. So now very big news that Oruan Liverpool now. And for tell all ground zero, say we gonna know say Paul Biya a criminal. And for all the commanders, for all the generals and all the foot soldiers there, we want to tell and say any man will commit crimes against humanity, against our civilians, that person will be brought to the book sooner or later. And just a matter of time. So when I be rest assured, there will be justice for Akum Julius, there will be justice for Mami Appiah, there will be justice for Baby Mata. Eventually, we must stand and for sure the world say we'll get a good sense of entitlement, a good sense of justice For no show the world say this killing the way this man done kill our people them. He done pain we and we no go take in anything less. So my country people the killing of Mr. Paul Biya it still go on, it never stop, it never slow. We then get information from a very enclave area. Say last Saturday, we get the pictures and where they come now from one small village for Savannah State Day. I think for in between around Oko area, might bring up the pictures. It talks about Republic du Cameroon, their military, it don't work at key people them in a joint formation for Rum, Ngang, and Gom, that is small village, and then two small villages and that we there around that side after you don't pass Oko, you want go that side for Ashing. So for these villages, then for Rum, for Ngang, and for Gom, the Republic, it don't key about 6 people there. Where they go for road, they pass the corner road, they don't shoot them for corner road. They be there for them with the same group of Bororo people, the way they don't gather them, put them inside the worker. So the call on our people, they say, me them be vigilant. And me them keep in touch with their people there they stay for village. To report this incident and to gather pictures and witness testimony for all this atrocity the way Mr. Paul Biya the commit them for area the way you no get media coverage. It be very important. Every sighting for La Republic, as soon as they always report them, we gonna continue for report them. I mean more people that they join for report we take pictures and videos for the number plate for every La Republic to Cameroon so that we will fit target in the future for International Criminal Court all the commanders them for La Republic for those units them be them come account. There must be justice for all these people that they kill. These are human beings being slaughtered by La Republic du Cameroon, their military. We now also see how La Republic du Cameroon, their motor they ran before for all sides. Their so-called armored car them, it ran before the law sense for all sides. The last time we ran see the oil down for inside Atlantic State. We don't see the one down for inside Atlantic State. Just now, as I one come on air, one La Republic again that their military car, it don't come for now for inside the military car. Now this who's the military car day. Now the armored car is no, there is a new one. Might get that picture. Armored car just fall now for Sonak Street for inside Bamenda. When I see how Sonak Street, it and the dust down cover the whole place. This is Sonak Street. I cannot believe this place. I used to pass this place when I was going to church. When I be a child, I go for church for Baptist church. I used to pass this place. Very beautiful place, tarred road, everything. Look at how Bamenda ran be under this colonialism system. So the one at Sonak Street, another La Republic du Cameroon, the armored car. Not only God did not knock them. About Kawara, they go borrow money na bosa go buy the one in about China or na bosa and made in China or na where. All the armored car they ran bikini for only by themselves. How many of these armored car ran lost? Only by themselves, eh? They say they play football. You fall down when man over kick you. Then when they kick you, go do na how. So right here say one down four for Sonak Street. They ran bikini fear. They call people they mean they can't help them push them. Who's that man for they for harvest that one them? But I think in that way they go on. So that one are behind if for inside go for behind St. Agnes for inside Bamenda. So before one take when I get when I inside the presentation, but today we go focus primarily on our diplomatic moves and on the diplomacy way they go on because they just we get so many reports for Gambona concerning defense. But I want to keep that one for defense because we get two different presentation the way I need to do one for defense, one for give an update about defense and our missions the we will carry out. The second one now for give an update about the preparation for the launching of the stabilization force. The special forces that are be selected across Ambazonia, they don't do their training, they don't finish, they don't go practical. That means they don't go for field for battlefield. When I see the action for Metazeng, it will be now the example that for the capability for these forces, they say they will target bunkers for the Republic to try to take them out of strategic places. And also they will be specialized also for make sure that they will be able to stop this their convoy, then to deny them access into our safe zone and liberated area using the armored car. So we don't see how the explosive they don't go on. One explosive it don't work fine for Bengui Road Day. The second one, that one the second one they put on for that road, it don't work fine. So we don't try to investigate for find out, but La Republic they will pick am up. So they try to see recheck the connections and all those things that will make sure say we will be accurate. When I know say we for ADF will be in a people them for accuracy. We need one became waste when our resources the one that in trust them for our hand. So before we go for there, I want to see take on a FACO to show now how we can establish now one of an area for inside FACO, if we call them a liberated area for inside FACO around Moyuka area. They we don't deny the mayor for the La Republic colonial mayor. He don't still try to come for market. We don't talk say all man for market go sell. No man no go pay tax for anybody. So until the transitional authority go dey in place, and then it will decide on this type of things. But that video then this way they come from our commander for inside FACO. It show how they don't drive the mayor for inside market. All man they now for inside market they do their things normally. So now the video footage is this for inside Moyoka. I share am with you now.
January the 20th, 2021. Now the market this in the market of this we the colonial mayor Moyoka you can take tickets for our area for inside FACO. We the Amazonian Defense Forces we push it away. Don't drive them away. If you see the market they find calm and tranquility. People that they carry on the activities fine. Don't send them away, they not come again.
So now they see our forces then they never secure our territory. No, make our civilians that they carry along with their normal activity, their commercial activity. The forces them they didn't have to protect and defend against the invaders. So make all man know very well.
They say that tomato them, say that small come among them. What do you mean? Nah, say how to find now council book.
So despite all the Republic to come around their propaganda, make una see say our forces them, then they for them to protect our people them, for create an environment where they people participate for their economic life, live in freedom and happiness. So this is what is going on in all the liberated areas. People are living happily and they are going about their day-to-day life, except in cases when we get invasion by the terrorist forces of La Republic, where they come for disperse people them, chase our people them, right for inside bush, like the one where they don't do one for inside Maoto. When I know say for Maoto, where they can keep or over 10 civilians per day, La Republic they don't start begin terrorize people them. Video footage is they show them how all man way they for inside Maoto, they don't run for inside bush. Now the video footage is this way don't come.
Today is 17 January 2021. This is the village called Maotu. You can see for yourself.
So now Maotu this. Now the village you say La Republic it don't slaughter over 10 people them, 10 civilians them. Now that killing it don't put Paul Biya for big wahala. Mr. Paul Biya be Vondo. He be wanted now because of this killing them. The international community, Francois Fall, when I be the representative for the Secretary General of the United Nations for inside Central Africa, he then make a request, say make the United Nations investigate these killings the way Mr. Paul Biya, a gangster, and the Rankan do for inside Maoto. Because of that, La Republic, it has sent huge number of troops for day for intimidate the victim them. So the whole Maoto, it dan chakara, it dan run. But be definitely sure from information what they get them. So the weaknesses the way they did for that crime, they be willing to talk under certain circumstances them, and they go talk indeed to the international community for make sure they make Paul Biya a pay. So now see for area the way La Republic they can invade them, can commit atrocity them. Now for the way people they run, but for area where Ambazonia they run liberate them or soldiers and they for the things and they in peace. So we also I want to take also move go for the great state of Bui. For the great state of Bui. Oh yes, I see our chief, our leader of our liberation, he make comment. He said despite the massacre of 2021 has begun well. Yeah, definitely 2021 have begun well. I think our people they don't see the operation the way our forces they don't carry on the new capability. We've done the talk since 2020. So we'll solve the problem for the armored car. We'll be done get the first test of this bomb for inside Omoyo job. and if it work very, very well, they don't develop them, they don't, the technology don't go round. It don't therefore we will feel continue to expand for use those technology and our people that they see the result. And also the stabilization force, it go now the game changer that a very big game changer. We don't see the chain cutter, the heavy machine gun, the way they use them, and the effectiveness, the tenacity and the boldness for these forces them. I think say this they come from their training. So that's here they don't carry attack for inside Mata Zeng, and the same attack, the same group they be attack for inside Manu when we be get that incursion for inside Manu. So we don't start in a very, very good good footing. It already shows the correlation between the command structure, the leadership structure where they for abroad, and the forces on the ground. It can be more smooth than before, and the unity will get and may go only help way because God knows we do need our sister forces. Them they play a fundamental role in our plan for our liberation movement. For those people that if you say the ADF want to be the only force on the ground, they make a big mistake because in our plan to liberate Ambazonia, the sister forces, the peripheral forces, then play a crucial role. As soon as we see with the launching of the stabilization force, it will give una enough pride. Una will see how una can get a professional army for ground zero, where you go take a whole state and hold am with the capability to hold am, and una that invest very well, and una will see the wisdom behind the which way it only happen for behind the scene all throughout this period. So I go want to take una for good una for inside the great state of Bui, how we would cry one of our soldier way it will be lost and for the we go honor that soldier for weekend. So I want to take una see how our general he done visit one of the school them inside the one like community school for inside the great state of Bui in collab for celebrate the passing of our soldier way before in battle for against from the Bui warriors the way they be attacking and killing for some uprising where we go talk with them close that uprising because they don't give command for the people for Bui say they go observe a symbolic ghost town for celebrate the life of the 23 ADF fighter the way they become for can join some other fighter then for inside Bui then together they be beat 39 forces them where they will slaughter them and some of them still be unaccountable for today. So one of our soldiers will be killed there again by the Bui warriors.
Actually,
To our general, if you see which way the governing council education body they do for ground zero, opening community schools like this to give our people free education so that they can have the basic knowledge and have a wartime education as we carry on this war for our liberation. I want to see how the other part for our general them how they love their community, how they do community service, they encourage their people.
They have just arrived now, and it is in solidarity with the death of Takilam, a soldier of the ADF in Gorkhan. And it should be noted that
when I hear from the narrator a voice, we don't always assure our people and say our community school are a security free zone. Community school do not have any Amazonian forces stationed there. Now those areas the way you know get no forces around, so that La Republic they don't get no excuse for can slaughter those students them. So now a complete volunteer system with the governing council education board that set up. The teachers them they need to be paid by the governing council directly, even though they help the school with materials and incentive, but usually we don't create a system for ground zero where they run on itself. It get protection, it get directive, it get aid from the governing council education board, and it also get material them and our curriculum what again for them they teach the students and so they build our nation from bottom up. So Nafisi,
these children they were close friends.
General Capo,
They were close
the
friends
lion
to,
of Bui,
to
now that
Takilam,
he visit the students them.
who died, and many of them. Most of the times they call him by his name, Kimbo. And today they have come to mourn. This is class 3. After closing from school, they have just arrived here to mourn together with the family, with the community, with the.
So that one they give una a window for the Ambazonia will fight for. Ambazonia where the soldier then there for the people. When the soldier they stand with the people. where we take care of our own, we train our own, we give our own people the education where they deserve a clean and good, a competitive education where they fit stand up for fight for the war. So, ladies and gentlemen, I go on for take una now for inside way it happen, and also a lot of people, them, especially our Amazonian, the way the Americans, them, right now that they watched the inauguration of Joe Biden. And I would want to congratulate Joe Biden and would also want to thank Donald Trump for standing up for Amazonia, even though it may be sufficient. We want to thank him if he does sanction Mr. Paul Biya Vondo for all the atrocity the way the cause of Amazonia by removing the La République du Cameroon from the trade agreement with the began with the United States to get preferential treatment than when they do tradings with America. We want to thank Donald Trump for stop all collaboration between the U.S. military and La République, the military they save for fight against Boko Haram for northern La République du Cameroon. We want to thank them. This one is shown as a Cameroon they do illegal action them. Cameroon a conduct not be acceptable. Phobia a prosecution of this war is not acceptable by the Americans. So thank Donald Trump for that good job where they want to do. And today we'll be happy say we get a new president for America, Joe Biden, who will be a better friend for we for inside Amazonia. But I see say the one Amazonian it then come out prominent among the speaker them where they will talk today for that inaugural when nobody but Dr. Fomunium Christopher. So we have to imagine how many dignitaries then there for that inauguration will give amongst them Dr. Christopher Fomunye and Christopher Fomunyo. Now, one of those people the way they behind the coalition for negotiation and dialogue, a coalition where they don't come up with a survey where they don't show say Ambazonian they more than 90% they want absolute independence, they don't want special status, they don't want federalism. We hope say it will represent the indicatives then for that pollings for inside the United States as it don't get a prominent place now for inside American government. We also see Karen Bass is there for inside there also. And the diplomatic pressure it is built against La Republic, this time with a stick. When I know say before the American government they want to do the inauguration, they already passed a bipartisan bill for their Congress where they call for the sanctioning of Mr. Pobia, they call for Mr. Pobia for end the terrorism for inside Amazonia. We also then see the incoming Secretary of State Anthony Blinken for America where then give a very, very powerful speech in inauguration. And just like I began explaining for now during the time where we will talk about the bill where they be passing for Congress, this it will show say the American government they target na La Republic because they know say na La Republic it be the aggressor. Now La Republic it carry out genocide against Amazonia, and all the words for talk about Amazonia the so-called separatists their own action. Now those diplomatic parlance it be very very apparent and very clear for how they interviewed in the confirmation of Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State of the United States of America. In language it portrayed that one very very clearly.
I think it starts with our very active engagement, not being AWOL when these problems emerge. Ethiopia, I share your deep concerns. We have seen a number of deeply concerning actions taken, including atrocities directed both at people in Tigray, directed at Eritrean refugees in Ethiopia. We, I think, need to see much greater access to the region, accountability, an effort to put a dialogue.
It be very important, Mona, listen.
Issues that cause the conflict can actually be discussed and litigated as opposed to dealt with through violence. We need to see a restoration of communications. We need access for humanitarian assistance in the region. And I worry as well that what started there has the potential to be destabilizing throughout the Horn of Africa. So I would like to see American diplomacy fully engaged in trying to contend with this challenge. You cited a number of other places where we have, I share your concerns about the elections in Uganda, concerns in Cameroon recently, particularly violence directed at the Anglophone population. So there are a whole series of places where
So it be very important we gonna know the priorities for America, how they don't cut them out. For the demand we don't demand for their Congress. Now a resolution, the first one in Africa, now a resolution against La Republique du Cameroon, the atrocity them against Ambazonia. And the Secretary of State for America, it be very, very clear with the word them. You know the mixed word. There is no two comparison between their side and Ambazonia their side. The atrocity them. There is no two comparison. He is very, very precise. He says La République, the La République brutal campaign of subjugation of the English-speaking people of Cameroon. I quote, brutal campaign of subjugation of the English-speaking people of Cameroon. What do we mean? Now say the La America, they talk say La République, they be brutal, they use atrocity them, use terrorist tactics them, burn villages, extrajudicial killing, targeted killing, rape and torture for subdue Ambazonia. That means say against our will. For subdue we, the people of Ambazonia. It is not acceptable in all standards. This one it be clear say American government, the new administration, it be in line. And all the indicatives they only get them from them, it be very, very good. Ambazonia they need to be very, very happy. And it not just end for day. We now see how the United Kingdom, their own parliamentarians and their lawmakers them, they stand up for talk on the favor of Ambazonia. So,
Madam Deputy Speaker, just 5 days before the US Senate was attacked, they came together to approve a resolution co-sponsored by 20 senators from both parties, from Marco Rubio to Cory Booker. And it was about this, about the brutal campaign of subjugation by the French-speaking government in Cameroon against the country's English-speaking minority.
yeah, the wordings. When I see the wordings, how it be the same, it is clear there is a consensus already amongst the members of the Security Council about what is going on. They are not ignorant. So it's clear. The wordings are the same. The wordings of Tony Blinken and the Congress and the parliamentarian in the United Kingdom is the same. A campaign, a brutal campaign of subjugation against the English-speaking people. Against the English-speaking people. You know, it's a diplomatic language to call Ambazonia or call the Southern Cameroon because of the former relationship with this country they get on with La Republique. So it is a consensus. There are just so many things that we cannot spill outside because you know the nature of diplomacy. But there is a consensus that what is going on in Ambazonia, which is a reality, is not a war being fought by two sides. It is a violent. What we are doing for the most part is self-defense. Our liberation action is there definitely. But what is actually happening is a mighty country that has its leg on our neck, carrying out, in the word of Blinken, Anthony Blinken, and the United Kingdom parliamentarian, a government carrying out a brutal campaign of subjugation. A brutal campaign of subjugation against the people. So the world know exactly what is going on. And
the Senate resolution condemned with great force the atrocities committed by the Anglophone separatist militias. And it speaks with equal power about the actions of the Cameroon government, including, I quote, torture and sexual abuse, massacres and burnings of villages, use of live ammunition against protesters, arbitrary arrests and unlawful detention, forced disappearance and deaths in custody, attacks on journalists and the regular killing of civilians, including women, children and the elderly.
So, it be important say me when I know say they condemn atrocities the way some faction they don't commit them for this Ambazonia. We'll be very aware. Since we fight now against La Republique, domestic enemy them, I will forgive them because we will now can't do a Capo, you know, call one name, you know, call one name. But we'll know exactly some people the way they pretend they name with this struggle, where they don't promote crimes against humanity, where they are named there 2 days for day. But most importantly, Mr. Paul Biya B. Vondo, he named there for day, Atanganji Paul, he named there for day, General K. Osomo, he did it, and get plenty people there for La Republic with their name, the name for that list. They will go down for their crime. They will be held responsible for all their crimes for Ambazonia. So our people keep on fighting. Fight for your right, fight the just fight, and justice will come. So this woman did not explain exactly which way they go on. When I know say Tanwe La Republic, if you see the British government, the British parliamentarian, they meet with the governing council and a joint team, because the governing council will invite the IG care for there as well. They meet with their parliamentarians, they then debate the issue with their parliamentarians, and La Republic will go offer them oil. We now fight that oil. So now La Republic they offer them more and more deal. But this deal will not go ahead because their parliamentarians they object as soon as
Madam Deputy Speaker, the Senate resolution noted approvingly that exactly 1 year before, the Office of the US Trade Representative, remember this is Donald Trump's trade representative, the direct counterpart of the Secretary of State for International Trade, had terminated Cameroon's access to preferential trade rights due, I quote, to persistent gross violations of internationally recognised human rights. And finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, in that same spirit, the Senate resolution urged members of the international community to join the United States in a strategic collective effort to put pressure on the government of Cameroon, including through, I quote, the use of all available diplomatic and punitive tools. And I quote that Senate resolution at length, Madam Deputy Speaker, because I believe that we must ask ourselves what on earth those senators would think if they knew that on that very same day.
So the essence what one show now the discussion with the UK, the lawmaker, they raise objection for any deal as the minister for England, they want make deal with La Republic to Cameroon. They don't be object them, they don't bring objection against those deals, and La Republic they run under the boss. The country economy go should be shattered in shambles. The don't come go host cup, it don't become a disaster. We don't see say they even for scarf. They call na can or na chan or whatever name they call the Nations Cup. We don't see they bring their player then inside armored car. The Zimbabwe their team they don't talk for the newspaper for Zimbabwe say the FIFA it don't classify, it don't raise the alert level for security risk for the Nations Cup due to the activities of the Amazonian forces that were grounded into a level they call a level 4. It not be a critical level or a severe level when at the two highest level, then that way if you make a meeting stop activity for inside our territory, but it be significantly very high. Even though we say Amazonia they begin as sorry had them, things of around go worse. So we will continue to carry out sabotage action then to stop this Nations Cup. I will call on all the other players them at the country they mean leave our territory because our people then they in plain war against La Republic to come around their military, they carry out genocide for inside our territory. So we don't see how the Nations Cup for inside La Republic to Cameroon, it then become a big disgrace. So this Nations Cup, if Mr. Paul Biya before say go organize the Nations Cup, maybe he can turn us on scene where go bring it pleasure, give it victory against Ambazonia. We don't see it don't come up, it don't turn a total disgrace. So we don't see the video the way they come.
The one a history. The one a real history.
So now see the history La Republic they make up. History for carry people go for back. Now their own citizens they talk so for inside stadium. Now they come this way the don't make up. La Republic they become now a shame. This country now a shame for Africa. Now a shame for the war. Who be carry this Nations Cup go game for this type of country? For the history of Nations Cup, they no be that ever present any Nations Cup with this type of scandal. Even lights up, they even lights up for buy light, for buy generator, for put light for that station will cost how much for a whole country where work and keep people for bush for inside Amazonia.
People they know feel like no they pa. People they know feel like no they want a real history. Oh my God!
La Republic
Cameroon for us, man.
Cameroon, light don't go away, the match won't start. Light don't go away, the match won't start. Hey, we pay go disgrace man. Sir,
that disgrace. La Republic that disgrace.
It's a big disgrace.
The whole country. People they repent. So when I see that country, that shit whole country, I think I see them. I think I see them. So this is the show now, the type of low-level people that we would can yoke ourselves with them. Dr. Chua Ayaba, the leader of our revolution, he then give a powerful interview with the press secretary, Mr. Lucas Asu, where he capture the essence why would we fight with these people then. I would like to play the excerpt. Muna here.
They don't own us. We owe them nothing. It is our land. It will not be shared. Now, let me say this. Somebody asks, what is the compromise we are ready to make? Listen. Dignity, they took. Humanity, they took. They occupied the land, drove us. Life, they took. What else is left?
So, make una understand what way Dr. Chudi talk. It be very, very important. Wait way la Republic, it don't take them away from we. They don't turn our life into cockroaches and rats. They are beginning to come out. Their senator announced on the Senate floor. Say they are picking the no go enter Amazonia, come out back with the no key up to 300 people and 30 people the way they know where they will kill them. Now their lawmaker and senator they talk for Senate floor. So when they are picking the enter Amazonia, they no go come out, they no key up to 30 people. They enter from village to village, slaughtering picking them, taking no prisoner, executing women, executing children. No mercy. They ask we some will surrender. We will kneel down for our food when they match our mommy them. Kill our children like that. They don't take away our dignity. They don't take away our voice. For decades after decades, we complain, we beg for dialogue, we beg for negotiation. From the SCNC conference, we give them time. Harmony Boba write for them, plead for time. They ignore. They don't even acknowledge receipt for our complaint, for our petition them. As I ran the tell for the last presentation, the worst thing if you do for a human being, now for ignore them, like they never exist, for not listen to them, for not respond to them. When we complain, their minister then talk, say we go tired. Only we say we will come back. Because they treat we like dogs, less than human beings. Like our leader for our war of liberation talk. They don't strip us off of our dignity, of our humanity. And then the one we say will come back and crow with our knee. If we can take something less, make ridicules of our chiefs, our traditions, appoint stupid idiots like class 3 drop out at Tanaji Poor, put them over us. For tell we say now the kind of people that this one are supposed to be. 10 fine men who have gone through journalism school into North Korea pulpits. And then they want us to go on our knees to beg to live with them, to ask for amnesty. No, we will not compromise on our dignity, on our human right, on our sovereignty, on our freedom. We will have the freedom or death. If La Republic is going to hold our land, they will go through us, all of us, like Honorable Weber talk. They will need to slaughter every Southern Cameroonians, every Amazonian. We will not make an iota concession on this crucial matter of our dignity, our sovereignty, and our humanity. We shall fight them block by block. We shall mash them. La Republic to Cameroon, the ministry, the Prime Minister officers contact me 2 days ago for tell me say they try to can catch me for Hong Kong. Say Hong Kong now became go under China now, so they go can't catch me for Hong Kong. And I laugh at the thing I say. They ran the say send me messages to my WhatsApp, send me messages for my messenger. Say they won't catch me, they go catch me. First of all, before you want catch man way you go catch man, you need to announce him. You need to announce him. Second of all, na desperation. Third of all, and then the fear. Me dey understand say we and the Amber boys them na one blood. The boy the way they go die for that country for their freedom. Their brother they go bury them, carry their gun them. So one that then gun them, go ahead for fight. Now we, our land. Even if they succeed, we are not say they no fit first succeed. Because na them be guilty of crime. Na them way the world they sanction them. Na them way the world they condemn them. Na them go for prison. Na their name there for inside list. Because we are doing a righteous thing. We are doing a liberation struggle. The same thing that all freedom fighters, all independentists have done before us. We are doing a noble thing. And even if I was to be caught like they did with Siseko, because nobody knows, I will go with my head hanging up. And I don't go stay for that jail like Siseko them or any other person. I didn't want to compare myself with any person. I don't go shut up for that jail, stay for that jail for years and years. I will go for there, I will explode. I will explode with that jail and I will go down with them. And I will do it with my head high. Even if they come to execute me, I will go down with my head high that I have done a noble job to stand up for my people when they needed me the most. To speak out when my people could not speak. To be bold and to champion their cause when they could not speak for themselves. Because they are under occupation. The military of Cameroon will target them, will kill them. Will do it again and again. Let Mr. Biya know we are not afraid of anything. What should we be afraid of again? When you see the way they are killing our people, we would rather go down there and fight and go down to the grave with those who have gone before us, those who have heed our call and picked up arms to defend our sovereignty. Let them know that this is a different generation. We are not a group of infiltrators that are working for money. Where they be willing to surrender themselves, so they will take up their hands and surrender themselves to the enemy. When I imagine these guys Chris Anu and the group, they can even think that they can surrender to the enemy. Imagine how many people they have sent to go and fight war and die. Then they can go surrender that for the enemy hand. God forbid. But so long as the governing council, the Ambazonia Defense Forces exist, let it be known that there are patriotic Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, that will never ever accept to surrender, to give up, to concede, to compromise who we are as a people, as a nation. We will not negotiate our dignity. We will rather fight and die than to live with the shame of surrendering to La République du Cameroon. There is no surrender. It is give us freedom. Give the people freedom or you give us death. Give the people freedom or you will give us death. We will continue to fight you block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. Even if you take us out, the next leaders will be more radical. When people they say we are radical, I laugh because they have not met people like woman of God, Immaculate. They have not met the leaders that are behind us. They are far more radical. The Nigerians, Mama Nigeria, Mama Fine Piki, they are far more radical. So we are there. We mean business. Our forces, they have realized themselves. They are coming together. We need business. We mean business for our freedom. In the coming weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks, things will be set to launch the stabilization force, and they will be commissioned to go in now and fully carry out their mission according to the roadmap that they have set out for them. So, Ambazonians, the only thing I can ask you now, our soldiers are armed. Yes, there are some forces. Please, I want to specifically appeal for funding for a specific unit. I don't want to call the name of that unit, that have been waiting for their weapons for too long. you know, in ADF, we everything we do, we follow our roadmap. We don't just provide weapons anyhow. So we follow our roadmap. That is a priority. But we still need those weapons there. We need that specific donation. And we need the granules. There are things we cannot say, but we need granule, at least minimum. The project is 10,000 granule, minimum 10,000 granule. We need it. If you never ever donate, if you want independence, if you feel so you get solidarity, you get sorry heart. When I see how ground zero that respond to the unity, all side that hole goes down, double way to every day before. Then make we who dey for diaspora, make we double our effort. Call Lucas Asu. Tell you say you don't know what's Capo Daniel show. You don't touch a hand, you want give even a $20, even a 100, 200, even a 10,000. Please, give for the freedom of our homeland. We are the most trusted people. We deliver. I said today no be defense briefing. I forgive una the videos of what did go down. And now when they add my position as a deputy defense chief, that means I will get more access for provide una way to where I feel say it be necessary for una for no. I will give una more as time will go. So for the meantime, ladies and gentlemen,
to compromise. There will be no compromise.
For the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I do want call una for do una own sacred duty, for play una own part at this historic moment as we mobilize our troops. Una see just 2 days ago, La Republic launched a major attack targeting one of our major bases in Batibo. An outpost had a full assault by La Republic. They fought for over 6 hours. And we lost just one soldier. According to the field report, we killed 3 of their La Republic du Cameroon, their soldiers. So it tells you that our soldiers have been battle tested, they are ready for the war, and they are ready to move ahead with our plans. We need to move big. I urge you, please, after everything said and done, if you are not donating, you are not pushing us enough to be effective. Go and make that call to Mama Wali and Lucas Asu. Tell them Capo Daniel have asked you, either you donate for the stabilization fund or for the money for the 10,000 granule. I want donation. We need 3 sticks in the hands of these guys. This is a unit that have been trained for specific things in ground zero, and they have been there for close to 1 year. Because they don't align with the plan that we have already going on, with the operations that we have, because we are focused on those operations. So they are basically been left out. So I need that money to give this to get these weapons for these guys. They need those weapons. So this is special appeal. If you want to make a donation towards this specific unit, call Lucas Asu, because I don't deal with money. He deals with the treasurer. Call Lucas Asu or call Mama Wali. Tell them that please, for that particular unit, if some man will want buy AK for ground zero, I beg buy it now. This guy, they need at least minimum 3 AK to add weight to them get now. They need minimum 3 AK. If one man fit buy them, he will do a big job. Big job. They need at least 3 AK. So we're gonna come to the end for the show. Next time we will get phone calls, we receive phone calls, and for any man where they watch me for ground zero, thank una for open una door for una house. Make a come for una television today. I talk for una. Una keep pray for our boys and una pray for our leader, Dr. Chuayaba. They go to intensify diplomacy now. Our Secretary of State, Dr. Larry Ayamba, also they don't get big diplomatic meetings, them things that they go on fine. Ambazonian partner they come together. The enemies and where the one can help with for fight against La Republic. The enemy of La Republic with the one can help with they come together more and more every day. Things are getting better. Good news are coming every day. As for ground zero, it be very sacrosanct. Our country Sunday. Now a big foundation for this revolution. How Atangan the poor they talk the fight goes down, they fight this go up and down. Our people they need to demonstrate. So they stand for separation and independence. Before even our forces they back them up. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen, and see you again next week on the show where we go focus on the Bui 23. Hopefully within Sunday I would then get time to do defense briefing with Una. God bless. Ciao.